This is an interview with Joël Perras from Fictive Kin. So Joël, tell me a little bit more about yourself.
So my name is Joël. I used to live here in Montreal. I currently live in Toronto. I moved out there a year and a half ago, and I currently work for a company called Fictive Kin that does not actually work out of Toronto. We're a distributed company. We're 14 partners that are distributed around the world. There's a group of people in New York. I'm in Toronto. There's someone in Montreal here. We have a guy in Denmark. We have a couple guys in the UK. And we work as a completely remote distributed company where we build web applications. So we build applications. Nobody really tells us what to do. We just do them. And then we find people that have similar interests after that want to help scale and grow the applications and turn them into businesses.
That is very international of you.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Oh, awesome. So you've been a speaker at ConFoo for four years?
If I'd have to count, I'd say 3, maybe 4 years. I'm trying to remember the talks I've given, but it's been a while.
Awesome. So what is one thing that you've learned from ConFoo? What's the best thing you've learned?
That there's always new things coming out in the web. My common joke that I give people is I spend an hour every day learning what the hell happened yesterday. And ConFoo is kind of a conglomeration of all of that, of all the things that I might have missed during the year, all the interesting technologies, all the new tools, all the new ways of doing things that are presented by people and show me what I've missed.
Awesome. So with that, since you've been here for 3 to 4 years, what is the most interesting person you've met at ConFoo?
I'd have to say I've met a few people here and have made some good friends. One of them is probably a guy by the name of David Zulke. David Zulke is he's a developer that works out of Germany, and I think I met him first here at ConFoo. We're friends now, but at the time I remember I was traveling a lot for different conferences, and I would see him in cities all around the world. I would randomly step into a bar in San Francisco, and David would just be sitting there.
So you're sure that you guys weren't stalking each other for a little while?
It might be. He might have just started following me on my social profiles and said, "Oh, I'm gonna show up here, just freak him out," which would be David's style. But he's a good guy.
Awesome. So then, what does ConFoo mean to you after 3 or 4 years?
It's kind of like a homecoming in terms of conferences. I've attended many different conferences, but ConFoo always seems like the one that regroups all of the people that I enjoy seeing because it's such a large conference and it groups together so many people. I have friends here that I really only see once a year. There are talks here that are given by some exceptionally good speakers that either are the creators of the project or experts in the field that I might not be able to get anywhere else. So it's like a conference homecoming.
That's a fantastic way to put it, actually. So I'm from Make Web Not War, and that's also a Microsoft brand. So I had some questions for you because I know that you have a PHP background. Mm-hmm. So how do you feel about Microsoft and PHP on Azure?
I think they're doing a pretty good job. It's been a rough couple of years coming up, but through a lot of input with the community, Microsoft has actually spent a lot of time asking community leaders in the PHP community how they can do better and how they can improve their product. Because these hosted platform as a service solutions are very popular these days, and for developers are actually a very good idea most of the time. And Microsoft has really taken it upon themselves to ask and to use the community to guide them into the direction that they want to go to. And they've done quite a good job so far.
That's awesome. So do you think that's the best way to support open source in our initiatives, or do you think there's other ways that you would do it different?
I think there are multiple different avenues, especially Microsoft has a lot of people internally that are exceptionally good developers, exceptionally good project managers. They're very good at what they do, and Azure is a product of what they're very good at. They're developing more expertise. I know they're hiring open source developers, they're hiring people to continue to work on the projects that they love to work on to help the community out. And those avenues will then open up and broaden to more interesting things. But what they're doing right now is a very good first step.
Awesome. And then lastly, why do you think open source is great for customers?
Open source has proven time and time again that it is good over the long term because it gives you the freedom to interoperate with other technologies. Interoperability is a really big concern for a developer because nobody wants to be locked into a particular set of tools and not be able to use a better tool later on that might actually solve their problem, their domain, in a more efficient and more cost-effective manner. So open source is something that lets you modify your tools or change your tools in a much faster rate than if it was a closed source application or tool set. For a developer, it's really just a logical choice and a logical progression over time to choose the more open tools, because then you can inspect, you can see, you can change, you can modify. So for the long term, it usually is a very good investment.
Awesome. So thank you very much for your time. And guys, that was Joël Perras from Fictive Kin. Thank you.